Let's change pace here. Let's get into one of the flash moments of the night. Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss. Second time this is here. 2 weeks in a row. The same subject, of course. Bray Wyatt and LA Knight have their pitch black match, which was really a glow in the dark match.
Yeah.
Neon glow stick match. Naomi, I thought she was going to come back, and this would have been perfect for her, right? How I felt about this, I thought it was good from the standpoint. We got to see Bray. He came in there, looked like a badass, got in, got out, didn't make it too much of a spectacle. Of course, with Uncle Howdy diving off the top, made it extra, but at least he just got in, got out, showed his face, and I was like, I'm fine with that. As bad as I thought it was going to be, and I'm like, the expectations for it for me was already low. I'm like, at least he just got out there, got it done with, and got out the way.
Yeah. Still, I feel like they should have, like, a reveal. I think they're dragging it on too long at this point. Like, so much cryptic, and I get it. You got the Alexa stuff coming in too, so I guess maybe they have to hold on out for that too. But it's like, if you drag this out to like Mania, it's like it's gonna get stale. It's gonna get stale. You know, so it's like,
I think unfortunately,
it's on the verge of that. But I'm like, let's see where it goes. I'm at least still willing to see where it goes. It's like it's on the verge of getting stale, and especially with the over the top killing of LA Knight. Like, where does LA Knight go from here? Is he dead? Like, is he banished back to NXT? Like, what's going on with him with that type of angle to do that? If Bray Wyatt would have injured him and knocked him out, that would have been different to me. But that ending, I was just like, okay. Like, I don't know which way they're going to go with this. And it's like, I really don't know. But it's like, I'm still holding out hope because I'm like, they can't mess this up a second time, right? Like, that's my whole hope with this whole storyline.
I hope not.
Can't do this again.
I mean, the whole point of the match is I mean, it followed the Royal Rumble, which is always a tough spot. But it was pretty much a showcase match for Bray Wyatt. I mean, it fit his purpose. Like you said, get in, get out. And then you got Bianca and Alexa, which I'm just now realizing that whole storyline is pretty much branching off the Bray Wyatt storyline into multiple storylines. This is all just one big story that's going to eventually reveal the whole Wyatt stable. And it was just pretty much let's get Bianca a win within that story, carry her, because she's pretty much just waiting until WrestleMania. That's pretty much what this whole title reign has been. It's pretty much just buying time until her opponent at WrestleMania.
So, pretty much. But my whole thing with the Alexa and Bianca thing, it was like, I would have rather that ended in like DQ or like Alexa Bliss getting switched into Sister Abigail or whatever the case may be and just getting disqualified, like being a badass. Like, if you're going to drag this out and use Alexa Bliss in the storyline, which I think they should not do, at least make her look like a badass. At least make her get one over on the bad guy. At least cause some havoc, right? And for that match to fall, to me, that match fell flat. And I was just like, okay, what was the point of that? We didn't see Alexa change. We didn't see her turn into a badass or cause some harm to Bianca, right? Like, it was basically a clean finish. Bianca got the 1, 2, 3, which I was like, okay, I'm glad that she didn't get scarred by this storyline or anything like that. She's out of that. But it's like, if you're going to use her and put Alexa Bliss in that prominent role on that level, on that stage at one of the big 4 pay-per-views, make it matter. And I feel like they're dragging this out, kind of what Lewis was saying with her. It's like you're kind of having her wait in the wings where it's like, you guys should already change her. You guys should already split the switch to give her some type of rub to make it look like she's a badass, actually going to cause some havoc. Because it's like, where does this go from here with her especially? Like Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, we kind of all know Uncle Howdy's Go Dallas to this point, right? We already understand Bray Wyatt is going to eventually either team up with him, cause more havoc, something to that nature. We know that's going to go somewhere eventually. With Alexa Bliss, it's kind of like she's in this holding pattern, and it's like we don't know what's happening with her. And if she changes, is she waiting until after Mania and stuff like that? I don't know.
I feel like the only thing I can think of with her losing is like, you know, they keep teasing like her changing, so it's probably like, well, she keeps losing, so she's going into like the madness or whatever. Like, she's gonna give in to like the Uncle Howdy and all that stuff and like revert back to what all the therapy was for and whatever. You know, that's the only way I feel like is the only way that they're like dragging this out by having her lose. That's the only type of story I see happening. But it's just like, come on. Like,
I know.
He returned when? When did Bray return? He returned in like what, October or something, or November?
Was it Extreme Rules? It was Extreme Rules of Survivor Series.
One of them who came back, but it's like
it's just like it's
been a couple months now. We need to either reveal their plan and get to the action, like get to something. Like that's what I was saying with Lewis. Like even like the way this is dragging, like Bray Wyatt should have been in the Rumble, in my opinion, causing some type of havoc, being some type of badass in the mix of all that, especially all the greatness that was happening there with Gunther, Drew, and Shane. There's so many people that he can rub with. And right now, LA Knight is a throwaway. Like, he's not really going to do anything here now. But it's like you could have rubbed him against somebody, at least showed us who you're going to go after next is, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now,
I honestly think that the slow storytelling, I mean, I think that's a part of Triple H's new vision. I mean, how long did Dexter Lumis and the Miz drag out? I mean, that's his new direction that he believes.
But that was good though. I'm not gonna lie, actually.
He believes in slow storytelling. I just think with a story like this, you know, because there's so much like mystery with the character, we just want to know immediately because we kind of don't understand. Like anytime Uncle Howdy comes on the screen, even I have to put my captions on to even try to catch it. Anything they says. So, that's the reason why we kind of want to like to speed this up, even though that kind of goes against what what Triple H likes to do with his storytelling.
And let's see what this is like. If it's going to go on longer, right? Like eventually Bray has to challenge for the title, has to get in that main event picture, right? He can't keep fiddling around with mid-carders. Like that's not going to be effective for a statue of Bray Wyatt. All this presentation that's going into him. It's like at some point we understand he's got to turn heel fully. Uncle Howdy has to be his devil on his shoulder, be his manager or something like that to that extent. And he has to cause some type of havoc. Like, that's all we're waiting for. And it's like, I guess, again, good point, Brian, with the long-term storytelling. Where is this going? We don't know. But I feel like Alexa Bliss is getting dragged down until they actually start making some momentum.
I think another reason why I feel like it is just dragging so long, because look how long they dragged out his return. How much did they hint at him just coming back, which was probably another like month and a half, 2 months. And you're like, okay, he's back. And then you're like, well, what is his new character? What is it's like I don't know. At least for me, I don't know where, like, is this leading to a faction? Is this leading to just him and Uncle Howdy and now he's bringing in Alexa? Or is he actually going to have, like, when he had all the people in the stands? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it going to be a faction? If it would have been smart if they used him in the Rumble, like if he introduced this faction and then one by one, you know, they came in or something like that. But we don't know. We don't know what any of this means. Or is he revealing his true self? Is he getting like a new mask? Or was that his new mask at Royal Rumble? Is Uncle Howdy gonna be out all the time? Sometime, like we don't know what it is. And like, okay, you're gonna bring in Alexa, and is she gonna be something completely new now? Is she going back to her old, like with the doll and shit? Like, I feel like this is too much mystery that it's just like, all right, you're gonna start losing people because you're trying to be so cryptic. And if the payoff is not something that's wow, it's gonna be another run where you're like, okay, this is it. Like,
and that's what I don't want it to be, because I feel like they invested a lot in Bray coming back. Bray, when he came back and gave his emotional speech, it's like, I don't want this to fall flat. I really don't want this to fall flat. And
I was so hyped when he came back. I was so hyped.
And especially Bray, and again, I've always said this, I like when Bray Wyatt was in the rocking chair, speaking in riddles, like being an asshole, being a badass. Like, that's my favorite iteration of Bray Wyatt that we saw NXT earlier when he came into the main roster. And it's like, where is this going? And that's the thing. The uncertainty and mysterious is one thing, but it's like, we don't want this to drag on longer than when it needs to. And it looks like it could potentially do that. I'm fine with it dragging as long as the impact at the end of it, when everything hits, means something. Like means something. It can't fall flat. Like it can't.